pitched voice. Alright, Connor, I'm gonna go record. I'm back.
What up?
What up? Dude, I can't believe 2024 has come to an end already.
I know, right? Crazy. What's your blue line?
You hanging out with Liv tonight?
Probably, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
That's what we're doing.
I'm going up to see Carlos, Sean, and Diego.
Oh, shit. I was gonna get this fuck. If I wasn't hanging out with her, I'd go with you.
That's what I'm saying.
Alright. How do you want to do this? Do you want to do it how the match is set up, or do you want to do like we talk about?
So, I think we go men's wrestlers, women's, matches, moments. Wait, shit. What, men's, women's, tag teams, matches, moments, championships.
Okay. Men's, women's. Work. Women's. Tag teams. Matches, moments, titles. You said?
Tag teams, matches, moments, championships.
Matches, moments.
And we'll close it out with, like, talking points.
It up. Oh shit! Alright, let me get up. Let me get into it now. I'm tired as shit.
I didn't go to sleep till 4 and I woke up at like 8. And I woke up again at 10 because of Zelda.
I fell asleep at like midnight or like 1 something, and then woke up again at like 4. Then I gamed until like 8, and then I fell asleep until like 12:30, laid in bed until like 1.
As you should.
Yeah, I'm milking these last days of shutdown.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie to you. I woke up this morning, looked at my desk, saw there was like a fourth of a beer left, and I looked at it, I was like, I'm not gonna finish that. Not even 30 seconds later, it was finished.
Yeah, that's funny as shit. I still have half energy drink. So, maybe a little bit more than half an energy drink still sitting here. They opened last night, never finished.
You have half an energy drink still sitting out.
Yeah.
He's immune to the caffeine.
It's flat as fuck now.
That's what I was thinking about the bear. Yeah, do you want the rest of my fries?
Give her the fries. You know he wants them.
Big body bends a hot off of my mama. Big body escalated right like a Hummer. When I see the cash boat wrapped in a duffel. They haven't kicked in yet. No, he's just warming up the ones that I gave him. Yeah, do like 10 seconds at max. It's okay, Ryan. As far as I know, I might be going back up in February, so.
For school?
No. To Chicago for Carlos's birthday.
Oh shit. What's the date?
Carlos's birthday is the day. No, I'm not. Because if we end up getting Rumble tickets, Carlos's birthday is Carlos's birthday is the 2nd of February, I believe.
Oh, wild.
Yeah. Six. This is 2. What the fuck did I just do? Go back. Go back. Go back one. What were you saying?
No, I was just like, damn, that's fucking nuts.
I say I would go up there, but we have something more important to watch.
That's insane. No, sorry,
Carlos understands. He knows.
Hey, good.
Shit, you gotta watch wrestling? Go ahead.
No, if he understands it, it's all cool. It's all cool.
There has been no plans made yet. I just have a weird feeling he's gonna ask me to go up there. So I did think I said last year. I think if I had the money, I would go up. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Perfect.
Look at that.
You want to open it? Or you want me to open it?
Yes, sir, I'll open it.
Okay.
Happy New Year.
I'm okay with whatever. I was just curious on what your thoughts were.
Yeah, sure.
I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby. Come with me Friday. Don't say maybe. I'm just a teenage dirtbag baby.
Alright. You ready to hop into it?
Dime uno segundo. Alright, yeah, I'm ready.
You give it just about 30 seconds. Because it's sort of 9 even off for me. 10 seconds.
No,
9.
day
8,
sucks.
7,
Day sucks.
5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Happy New Year, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to the AR Wrestling 2024 review show.
This is going up before 2025. What do you mean? I'm just messing with you.
What?
Just messing with you.
That's right, yep. But welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the review show. It's me, it's my co-host Alex. Let's get right into it. Alex, how are you doing and how are you feeling about 2024 as a whole?
2024 was one hell of a year, considering a lot of factors played out this year. I mean, we saw Roman lose his fucking title. We saw him lose his tribe, lose to Ulafala. We saw Jey Uso win his first singles. We saw Gunther lose his title, but then win another one 4 months later. Like, dude, 2024 was just, it was insane. Like, there was a lot of like holy shits that I wasn't expecting, especially when it came down to, honestly, Dominic with Rhea as well after SummerSlam. That shit was insane. I mean, Roman returned at SummerSlam as well. Balor turned on Damian. Like, dude, so much has happened this year. LA Knight won his first WWE title. Like, dude, I'm ready for this shit, dude. Let's get it. First main roster title. Let's get this right.
That's right, first main roster title. CM Punk had, like, definitely feud of the year with Drew McIntyre 1000%. Saw a lot.
Oh, yeah.
WWE's on fire still for sure, I think. And we're not even looking to mention less than a week out now, officially, from the debut of Raw on Netflix.
That's true.
Yeah.
This is true. I'm excited.
It's gonna be insane. And let's hop right into the review. We're gonna be doing about
Ow.
doing a top
We're
five
basically, yeah,
thing of all these different topics: favorite men's wrestlers, favorite women's wrestlers, favorite tag teams, favorite matches, favorite moments, favorite titles, championships, and then some honorable mentions and talk things we want to talk about.
I'm excited, dude. We got a few lists to go. We got about 6 lists to go over. I mean, 7 if you count our last one. But let us know, like, we do have our socials and everything. Let us know what we could do for next year's 2025 review. So then that way we have an absolute banger of a show because this is our WrestleMania essentially. I'm kidding. It's not our WrestleMania. That way we can be like WrestleMania, do bigger and better every single year. So, I'm ready to get into it, Ryan. How about yourself?
Well, let's dive right on into it. We're going to be going into our first topic. It is our favorite men's wrestlers for 2024. We each picked 5. It's mostly WWE centric, but me being an AEW nerd, I want to throw in a couple of honorable mentions at the very end. We both have honorable mentions. Most of mine are AEW guys, though. And hop right into it. I
Oh,
got
God.
my top 5 men's favorite wrestlers of the year. Number 5, I have got Cody Rhodes. I've got CM Punk at number 4, LA Knight at number 3, Drew McIntyre number 2, Gunther at number 1.
Oh.
And if y'all are upset about Cody Rhodes at number 5, come the fuck at me. It's just, I mean, he's had a great WWE title run. I'll be completely fair with that. I love
Yeah.
I almost said I love WWE. He's talking about Cody Rhodes. But that's how fucking he's pushed as the face of the company, how hard he is.
Oh, yeah, 100%. I mean, this dude is going absolutely in as the face of the company. But I mean, you seem to do yours more off of, like, I don't really know how you would do yours. Because mine kind of counteracts yours, to be honest. Like, I'm not even gonna put CM Punk in my list because he was gone for half the year.
Exactly.
That's my opinion. But for my 5-1 for favorite men's, I have Uncle Howdy, Damian Priest, Gunther, Cody Rhodes, and as we all know and love, main event, Jey Uso!
Let's go, of course. Jey Uso. I kind of figured Jey Uso would be your number 1 pick.
Honestly, I had to throw him up there. It's just been him, Us. Day one-ish.
Day 1-ish. I like Uncle Howdy being in your top 5. I don't have him in my top 5 personally, just because of, I don't know, he hasn't had, yeah, he's had like the moments with like the return and everything with like the entire corporation of the White Six, but for me personally, he hasn't had like the match
Yeah.
to establish himself as the character that I want him to be yet. I think he will at some point. Like less is more, and the story will eventually.
I think it happens with Karrion Kross, to be honest. I think this was a good idea. I think they should have probably waited till Mania season to run this one. I mean, we're getting right there. We're right around the corner. We're only we're literally a month away from him. We're almost a month away from Royal Rumble.
Right. We are about a month away from Royal Rumble. But then,
That's what I'm saying.
to fly through honorable mentions real quick. Like I said, mine are most of mine are AEW guys. Number 3, I have the American Dragon, Bryan Danielson. How could I not? He won the AEW World Championship this year, and he's the best wrestler in the damn world. One of the best wrestlers of the generation, period. You cannot argue that, in my opinion.
Cannot.
Number 2, you got Swerve Strickland, someone who won his first world championship this year and made himself essentially the final boss of that company, I think. And Jay White, Switchblade Jay White, he's just a fucking goofball. I love him. So,
hell yeah.
And he's a great wrestler. I think he should win a world title soon, but those are just some honorable mentions I wanted to fly through.
I say mine, for my honorable mentions 3-1, I had Ludwig Kaiser at number 3. I love what he's been doing, and especially what has happened last night on Monday Night Raw with his promo. Fuck yes. Same with Rollins. He's on here for probably almost that exact same reason. more than, I mean, obviously he's done a lot, same with Kaiser, but Rollins, dude, oh my goodness. Dude's a stud with whatever he can do. I mean, he was gone for a little bit because of his back and his knee, but dude came back with absolute fighting spirit, ready to kill CM Punk. And then Drew McIntyre, the man who wants Punk dead, that's not Seth Rollins, as my number one honorable mention.
Oh, yeah, dude. If anything, I wanted Drew somewhere. I have him as my number 2, right under Gunther. I don't know. Shouldn't need to explain Gunther.
You like big meaty men smacking man meat.
Hell yeah. Drew has had an absolute killer year, especially with CM Punk, man.
Oh, God.
Can't argue he has got to be in that conversation.
Oh, shit, my bad. Yeah. I get it. So, I mean, I think with that, dude, there's a lot of, a lot of opportunity for more superstars to get where, you know, the superstars of today are.
Yes. But, with that being said, in the men's category, do you have anything else you want to add?
Not for the men, no.
Yeah, you want to move us into the women's then?
Of course. So we also did women's. We don't leave anyone out, of course. But we do love, I think Ryan and I both speak highly of her because, you know, it's mommy. But she's at number 1 on my list. I will say that. But to go from bottom to top, I got number 5. This would be controversial. I think mine's a little controversial. I think more for my girlfriend more than anything. Number 5, I have Liv Morgan. Number 4, I have Nia Jax. 3, I have Bayley. 2, I have It's Tiffy Time. And then, of course, like I said earlier, number 1 is Mommy Rhea Ripley. I feel like these 5 women specifically have had one hell of a year. And like, and we know before, I haven't said that, I won't say I've said really raunchy shit about Nia, but I have never spoke highly of Nia up until, honestly, I think her title reign is when I started speaking highly of her. Because I like this gimmick that she got going on. Honestly, I really do. She's like that aunt that nobody wants to be around. Bayley, I mean, it's Bayley, dude. She's honestly, the 2 workhorses of the women's division, Bayley and Rhea, hands down. That's my opinion. Hands down, those 2.
Thing to say.
And then of course Tiffy, you know, it's her breakout year. She was in the Women's Royal Rumble. She got drafted to SmackDown. I think she was one of the first picks. And then she won Miss Money in the Bank. And now she's been eyeing Nia's title for literal months now. We're just waiting for her to pull a trigger. And we think it's going to be SmackDown January 3rd, 2025. Like Ryan's been predicting. And I actually hopped onto that thought because I liked it.
Oh yeah, I love that list. I think I totally agree with that. Each one of those 5 women had a breakout year. My list looks pretty similar to yours. I think we have 3 matching people on there with our top 1 matching, obviously.
Yeah.
Both of us obviously have Rhea Ripley.
Of course.
But for me, 5 to 1, I got Jade Cargill just because she's just got the aura for me.
Yeah.
And just the idea.
A storm
where she's coming, how
is
she's
coming.
presented. I'll admit it. Sometimes I'm a little bit dumb, and I just like to turn my brain off and be like, "Oh my god, that is a big star," and I just want to watch him do basic shit and cheer for it, and that's what I like watching Jade Cargill.
No, I got you, dude.
I don't need her doing springboard 450s or poison ranas and tiger drivers through the damn announcer's table. I'm pretty happy with a stinger splash, a big boo, and Jaded to end it all.
Honestly, yeah. I mean, but that does kind of play into the whole thing with Bianca and Jade of that storyline we talked about in our last episode that we have yet to publish. It will be published before this one. Both of these will be published on the same day. So don't worry. We'll get those both out to y'all.
Yes, we will. And then I kind of agree with everything you said with Nia Jax. Her character work is just, I absolutely fall for it now. Like, she's just committed so hard to the bit, where it's like, well, now you're just so much of a dickhead. Like, I kind of like think it's funny now.
And then on top of it, like, her in-ring work as well has just become like so good.
Yeah, she has improved.
Like, she used to be one of the most dangerous to step in that ring, and now she's one of the best.
Yeah, genuine. I agree with that. That SummerSlam match with Bayley was actually pretty good.
Dude, let's go Nia for real.
Let's go, Nia. Never thought I'd see myself cheering for Nia Jax at the end of the match. Like, holy shit, let's go.
Well, we won't be cheering for her when, Miss Tiffany Stratton cashes in.
She is my number 3. Tiffany Stratton, Miss Money in the Bank. She's just this prospect waiting to happen. Like, as soon as she catches in that briefcase and gets that title, like, it'll just be ready-made. Like, you already.
Oh, yeah.
She's just a star waiting to burst into the stratosphere. Funny enough with Tiffany Stratton saying that.
Yeah, for real.
Number 2, this is where, of course, I bring in the fact that I like in-ring wrestling more than a lot of other things in pro wrestling, which is why Io Sky is number 2. I think she is genuinely the best women's wrestler from an in-ring perspective on the roster right now. Her and Bayley at WrestleMania 38 was such a phenomenal match that I kind of regret not having it in my list later on.
They
going to matches.
Are you talking about WrestleMania 40?
Yeah, 48, 40. I don't know why.
You said 38.
I don't know why I said 38. I don't know what I was thinking. But 40.
That match was good, but the ending was biffed. That is the only part of that match that I was not a fan of. Everything else is beautiful.
But when Io does a handspring flip out of a flippin' rosebud with about 2 millimeters of space between her head and the ring, I don't know how she did it, and then hits a flippin', oh my god, yeah.
Bayley hits that rose plant, though, for the win.
Very good wrestler. And then Rhea
for sure.
Obviously, number 1, how could I not? It's mommy. Even though she was out with the eye injury, or first she was out with the shoulder injury, then she was out with the eye injury. She still made 2024 her year, I think.
Oh, God, because mommy is a bad bitch. War Games! That was crazy. That was one crazy moment.
Doesn't watch wrestling like at all. Laughing
Huh?
like at a segment, like that was hilarious.
Dude, I love that. Kaylee always goes, beat her ass, beat her ass, beat her ass. Like, to Rhea about Liv, I'm like, okay, you might be getting into this a little bit more than I thought you would. But like, that's the only story my girl's into right now. But once that's over, she's gonna probably not watch wrestling anymore. Who knows? So, I mean, I think Rhea being at number 1, a lot of people will say is kind of stupid because she's overhyped. But a lot of people I see on Twitter are really upset that she's basically one of the only women getting TV time on Raw. Well, let's look at the division on Raw to start with. You have Rhea, you have Liv, you have Raquel, you have PFC, you have the Party of the Summer, Katana Chance, Kaden Carter, you have Unholy Union, you have. I literally had another team another person in my head, and I forgot who it was. You have EO, you have Dakota Kai, you have Kairi Sane. Like, I think what EO is doing right now is perfect. Honestly, which is why I think you keep Rhea and Liv as the main focus until WrestleMania 40. Because I think a lot of people aren't understanding that Triple H, like we've talked about many, many times, he loves his long-term booking. So, just see how this goes.
Long-term booking. Sometimes it's a detriment. because 8 Count Down Under has been splitting a T since it feels like WrestleMania, but sometimes it works out really well, like with Rhea and Liv in the Bloodline, I think.
I agree. So, we ready to get our honorable mentions for these women?
Hell yes, let's dive right into them.
My number 3, like we were just talking about, is Io Sky. For the fact that I like where she's at. I don't think she's doing too much. I don't think she's doing too little. I think where she's at right now is perfect. Because right now, what I think is going to happen, like we've kind of talked about this because you brought up the idea, Io and Kyrie become tag champions and Dakota wins this entire Intercontinental Championship tournament. Which the finals are on Raw and Netflix January 6, 2025. And the Los Angeles Intuit Dome. But then number 2 is Jade Cargill and number 1 is Bianca because I put them both at 1 and 2 because I like the work they've been doing with the tag championships and how they keep themselves like known really instead of, kind of dipping off like Unholy Union did.
Yeah, I agree with that. Like, I've definitely liked Jade and Bianca's tag title run. The title change in Clash of the Castle was definitely a weird hiccup in it all. And then ending it all by, like, writing Jade off and then her, like, kind of forfeiting it and Naomi kind of stepping in and winning it then, I guess.
Yeah.
I would have liked a little bit of a different ending to the actual tag title run that they had. But if it all leads to a WrestleMania feud between Jade and either Naomi or Bianca, I'll be fine. Preferably Bianca. But
Yeah.
solid list of. I do like all of that.
Mm-hmm.
Then we move to my honorable mentions. I've got again another AEW list. Just going to shout them all out because we never do on this show, and I kind of want to sometimes. But
Okay.
honorable mentions number 3, I've got Chris Statlander. She's kind of just been rocking it this entire year. I think she won the TBS championship at some point. It was last year, I'm pretty sure. But ever since she lost it, she kind of has been smashing it. She's a powerhouse. She's a high flyer all in one. She had a street fight with Willow Nightingale at All In. That was an absolute barn burner. And on a card where you had Ospreay versus Pac, and you had the all-out street, or the all-out, lights-out, steel cage match between Hangman and Swerve. These two still stood out on that card, and I think that's something to be applauded.
Yeah.
Number 2, I've got Mariah May winning her first AEW Women's Championship this year from Toni Storm, who I'll talk about in just a minute, at All In, which is an honest-to-God match of the year contender that nobody talks about, in my opinion, but everyone sleeps on it. I don't like it. Number 1, though, I just said it, Toni Storm, timeless Toni Storm. I love her. Phenomenal wrestler, phenomenal character work. We saw her go away for a long time and rewrite her character at the end of the year, and I'm excited to see where she goes with it.
I am too, because I kind of knew about her character, but when she left and then came back as this new character, like she's basically trying to re-find her feet, I'm kind of messing with it.
Exactly. She's got this whole amnesia act that she's going to be playing on now.
Yeah. Was I not supposed to? Why? Hold on.
And, I mean, AEW hasn't been, like, popular with their women's division at all, to be fair. They're kind of weak with it all, but those top 2 that I said, Mariah and Toni, have had, like, a legitimately good storyline that has gotten time, has gotten effort on screen, which is something that hasn't been given to, like, nearly half of not even half of the roster that they have available to them. And though now, Alex and Cassie did break, sorry. I'm going to move us right into our favorite tag teams, and I'll talk about that real quick. I've got top 5 tag teams for the year. I don't think this was a very strong year for tag teams in general. This is just Triple H isn't a very good tag team booker. It feels like since WrestleMania, he's kind of forced them into the back seat, not along with the women's division. The women's division hasn't gotten the strongest push, but it has gotten some. But the tag division has definitely taken the farthest back seat compared to everything since Triple H has taken charge. I feel had a fire year in 2023 with WrestleMania 39, but have fallen off since then. Number 5 on my favorite tag teams of 2024 though is the women's tag team champions for most of the year. It's Bianca Belair and Jade Cargill. They've just been, they've been superstars for the most part. They've been dominating the division. They've been going on lots of successful title defenses. All in all, the weird hiccup, like I talked about just a minute ago, Clash of the Castle was, like I said, a hiccup, but they overcame it and they won the titles back. The Jade being written off was not the best thing, but as we say, the women's tag division is just not ever been the best, so they're doing what they can with it.
Yeah.
Number 4, I've got Pretty Deadly. Yes, boy!
Yes, boy!
They ain't done shit this year, but they've made me laugh a lot, and
They've had a lot of good moments.
I'm excited for Pretty Deadly, the musical, at some point.
Yes, boy!
But like I said, Alex said a second ago, I'm not sure if you heard it, this hasn't been, in my opinion, the strongest year for tag teams, in my opinion, though. So, I don't really have like a lot to say on a lot of these teams, but I do like a lot of them. Number 3, I've got I already said Pretty Deadly. Number 4, number 3, I've got DIY. This is a team that I thought should have won the tag titles at WrestleMania for sure, but they didn't. But
unfortunately,
they had a pretty good year. They won the titles for a little bit, lost in Cleveland, which we were there for that.
Yeah. Unfortunately, Johnny lost his titles in Cleveland. Quill was there.
Poor buddy. But then they've turned heel ever since the Motor City Machine Guns have showed up. They're not on my list, spoiler alert, just because they I would call it recency bias. I don't want to put them in there for recency bias sake. They've only kind of just debuted in WWE, relatively speaking. Number 2, I've got Street Profits. We want the smoke, always. I think
We want the smoke!
Damn. Sorry. They just don't have bad matches, in my opinion. Like, they had a match with DIY earlier this year that felt like just an old school black and gold NXT match. And I wasn't even watching NXT that much back then. And number 1, weirdly enough, y'all might not consider this like an official tag team, but I got the Bloodline, specifically.
More of like a faction type deal.
The 2.0 version of the Bloodline. And if you want to call it the tag team portion of it as Tama and Tonga, or Jacob and Tama, because they won the tag titles earlier this year. Do not forget that. And then Jacob forfeited it to Tonga Loa after he healed his eye injury. But nonetheless, any combination of the Bloodline in a tag team match, especially Jacob and Tama, like I just mentioned, Solo and Jacob were a tag team earlier this year against Cody.
I love you, Solo! Yeah.
So, any combination of the Bloodline in a tag match, I've honestly thought has been really fun and given us a lot of really cool matches this year. Not to mention, like, even more, like, if you really think about it, the Bloodline 2.0 has been involved in a lot of just traditional tag matches on pay-per-view. Back in Backlash, I'm pretty sure it was Kevin and Randy taking on Solo and Tama in a tag match, or in a street fight. I just mentioned Solo and Jacob versus Cody and Roman at Bad Blood. Jacob's been tag champ and all that. But
this is true.
that is my number 1 tag team. It's the Bloodline 2.0. I love you, Solo!
I love you, Solo! Oh, man. I like that top 5. My top 5 is a little different, though. To be honest. Like, we have pretty similar people, but 2 of the teams are different. Kind of like it was with, I believe, our men's or women's wrestlers. For myself, number 5, I had the Awesome Truth, because you can't hate R-Truth. Like, if you hate R-Truth, there's something wrong with you.
R-Truth makes the world better by just being in it.
My number 4, I would say, is the Final Testament. Any combination of them, basically, like you were kind of saying about the Bloodline. Number 3, I had the ESTs at WWE that I call Bianca and Jade, of course. And I got number 2, the Street Profits, because we What? The smoke! And again, there's a reason why I didn't put Motor City Machine Guns on here either. It is because of recency bias. Let's see what they do in 2025. Let's see if they make the list. But number one, I have one of the people they mentored in this tag team. I have DIY at number one. I like the work Gargano and Ciampa have done. And on top of it though, like I've seen them off screen as well. Like I've seen them on Johnny Gargano's YouTube channel together basically all the time. So I think just seeing that aspect of a tag team that you normally don't see of any wrestler is kind of nice. It's a change of pace, I would definitely say.
There's not a lot of that seen. A lot of it is just on screen. You don't see a lot of off-screen interaction between you. So yeah, I like that.
So
Tag
yeah,
team.
I say we both have pretty solid lists. I like them. I mean, it's unfortunate we both only have Bianca and Jade as our only women's teams on this, but no other team has really shown out as much as these two.
Exactly. Like Unholy Union won them. Like I don't want to say it, but it's true. They only won them because they were going to Scotland.
Yeah, but to preface, if anyone heard the syringe word earlier, I accidentally fed my dog meds like an hour too early. That was my fault. Because he's going to the doctor today. I do apologize. So, I mean, we get into, I think, our favorite matches now, Ryan, though?
Yes, we do.
So, you started the last one. I'll start this one. Like, we kind of keep the theme going, I guess. Number 5. I had the 6-pack ladder match for the WWE Tag Team and World Tag Team Championships at WrestleMania 40. I like the difference with this match. And like, it made it fun and different. And that's why I liked it. There's a lot of highlights. I mean, we saw Montez basically debut that flip over the ring post, and he's been doing it ever since. Like, this dude is absolutely insane. I mean, we saw 8-Town Down win it. And then we kind of had that thought, can they also win the other tag titles? Which, I mean, it made it seem like they could, but at the same time they couldn't. And then we had Awesome Truth win the Raw tag titles. And dude, the World tag titles look like shit compared to the WWE tag team titles.
Yep, I agree with that. WWE tag team titles look peak.
Number 4, Survivor Series Women's War Games. Io bringing the 6th member, the trash can. That was amazing. The front flip from Tiffy was amazing, dude. That spot was just absolutely awesome. I enjoyed it.
The only negative that I would put against that match is Nia Jax not knowing how to swing a chair.
Yeah, the only negative I have of that match is the chair shots. Other than that, dude, everything else was amazing.
Absolutely amazing. I love that match.
Number 3, Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles, Backlash France. That match was amazing. The crowd was amazing. The environment, dude. I felt like I was in France when that was going on.
Cody,
Da, 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 da.
Cody Rhodes.
And then number 2, I have Mommy Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan for the Women's World Championship at SummerSlam when Dominic turned on Rhea officially. I believe we do talk about that later on. I think our next segment. Yeah, our next segment. And then at number 1, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Or if you really want to get at it, Bad Blood inside of the Hell in a Cell.
That is phenomenal. Number 3, Cody versus AJ was, goddamn, that was such a good match. And the crowd was electric.
I agree.
Punk and Drew inside Bad Blood. That's on my list somewhere, obviously. I couldn't leave it off of there.
Dude, what if we see a new form of the OC? Or not the OC, oh my god, the Bullet Club in WWE. Because you have Anderson, Gallows, Michin, Cody Rhodes, AJ Styles, and Finn Balor. All on one roster. I mean, obviously the subdivided rosters are different, but the main WWE roster, all of them are on that roster. All of them were a part of the Bullet Club.
If you could really get AJ, Finn, and Cody associated with each other in the same group, that would be
Those matches would be amazing.
It seriously would be.
But I don't want to pull them all together because I do like the separate things that they're doing.
Take my money now.
Take my money. So.
Now, with that being said, my top 5 favorite matches 2024. Number 5, I've got, like you have on yours, Rhea Ripley versus Liv Morgan at SummerSlam. We were there for it. I remember the reaction of everybody there when Dominic kissed Liv, bro. Oh my god.
I had lost my mind.
It was unbelievable. And then during the actual match, when Dominic steals the chair from Rhea, telling her, like, you'll get disqualified, and everyone's like, oh, what the fuck are you doing? Rhea popping her shoulder back into place in the middle of it all, like slamming against the announcer's table. You remember that?
Yes, dude, that shit was. She's insane.
She is mommy. Number 4.
Oh god.
One of the most wild experiences in all of professional wrestling. It is Roman Reigns versus Cody Rhodes, Night 2, WrestleMania main event. This is everything that you need. This is quite literally everything. This is 20, I don't even know how long the match is. I think it's like 40 something minutes, right? So it's
Something like that. That match was insane.
It's about 30 something minutes. Also,
just pure wrestling.
75% of it is a phenomenal wrestling match between two of the top stars in the industry. And then the last 25% of it is let's just have everybody come out and pop everybody with all of our biggest stars.
Avengers Assemble.
Avengers Assemble against the Bloodline. It was the only thing that could have made it better, as the Stone Cold Steve Austin said.
Mm-hmm.
In place of the Undertaker, but I love the Undertaker anyway. So
hey, Vegas is in Nevada. He lives in Nevada.
God, please give me Punk versus Austin at Mania 41. Please give me my.
Take my money. Take my money.
Number 3 on my list, Randy Orton versus Gunther at Bash in Berlin. This is their rematch from King of the Ring, and I thought that this was just this was so freaking good. The crowd was the exact way that I thought they would be. They were cheering Gunther like the hometown hero that he was, but they still cheered Randy. They didn't exactly heel it at all. But Randy still wrestled a slightly more heel tactic, dumping Gunther on the ring steps, absolutely mauling him in the beginning.
Mm-hmm.
Randy was choked out by the sleeper, if I remember right, at the end.
He was.
But that's after he fought out of it like 3 or 4 times and hit some of the closest near falls that I've seen in any of Gunther's matches, in my opinion. Number 2, though, CM Punk versus Drew McIntyre, Hell in a Cell. Everything that you said, this was how we got this in PG WWE is beyond me.
We're TV 14 now.
TV 14, true, but like this was
the point being, yeah, that's insane.
It was a blood bath and a half. Drew's bump onto the steel steps. I thought he broke his back, and then when they pulled out the bracelet beads from the bag, and we're all like, "Oh shit, that's obviously thumbtacks." It's something somehow even better because it plays into the story. You can tell a story. You can tell a story around a bracelet. People, suck it.
We've been telling a story about a necklace forever, so why not?
And then
why not bring a bracelet into it?
Number 1, I've been saying it since August. It's Gunther versus Damian Priest at SummerSlam. We were there for it. I lost my voice about 5 minutes into the match. I
lost my.
Happy at the end of it, man.
That match was crazy. I lost my shit the night before.
Exactly. Gunther, like, his chest gets busted open by Damian's chops and all the attacks, but Finn helping him out, starting that feud and breaking up. That night was the implosion of Judgment Day, so it all just plays together. I love this match so much. I've gone back and watched it like 3 times since.
That match was something else, dude. That, I think, I'm just gonna say it. Gunther still has yet to beat Damian 1-on-1.
He has yet to beat him clean, yeah. You're not wrong. You are
So,
not wrong. We'll see that ran back at some point. Like,
oh
actually
God.
finish it.
So, I mean, I think that match at some point is going to be a pure 1-on-1, and we're going to get just the best match between these two ever. Because I think Damian was supposed to win at SummerSlam. If Finn wasn't going to interfere, I think they were going to book Damian to win at SummerSlam. Just to kind of, like, it would kind of, ruin Gunther's ring general character to a degree. But it would solidify Damian's reign a lot more. And then that way Gunther gets his rematch in Bash from Berlin, hometown hero going in. Boom. That's when he wins it. But there's a whole thing with Randy Orton at King of the Ring.
Right. But, like, that was a complete accident.
Yeah. So they had to change the booking a little bit.
So what happens if that doesn't happen?
Right. What happened? That's what I'm thinking. That's what I'm saying. I think Damian was supposed to win at SummerSlam, then Gunther was supposed to win it at Bash in Berlin. I don't know. But are we ready to get into these honorable mentions? I got my honorable mentions. I got the I Quit match. Cody Rhodes versus AJ Styles. Money in the Bank. Just the match between these two is always phenomenal. I don't care. Da, 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 da. Number 2, I have Survivor Series Men's War Games. When Bronson Reed, Jacob Fatu and Jimmy Uso all got hurt, and Tongaloa all got hurt. I think Jacob was only hurt for like the night. He wasn't actually hurt like as severe as Bronson, Jimmy, or Tonga.
No, I think Jacob Fatu was just an unbelievably good seller.
Oh, he is 100%. And then number 1, your favorite kind of match, 2 big meaty men smacking that man meat. Monster versus Monster, Braun Strowman versus Big Bronson Reed, Monday Night Raw, September 30th, 2024, in Indianapolis. We were supposed to go to that, and we completely forgot about it. It's okay.
It's okay.
It's okay.
Because this match was still freaking amazing.
Yeah, it didn't matter. That match was awesome.
On TV.
So, that was Evansville.
I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. You're good.
As I move into my honorable mentions, I want to once again say, it's AEW for the most part on these honorable mentions. For me, I want to start off with, I'm going to say Sting's retirement match, actually, as my number 3 honorable mention. This was how you send a legend out. This is just
Oh my God.
Darby taking one of the most insane bumps I've ever seen, period, ever, period, in anything. Sting looks like an absolute beast. He gets his sons involved. The Young Bucks once again prove that they are one of the best tag teams of all time. And I don't think there's really much else to say about it. If you haven't seen it, you need to go and watch it. Just like number 2, I'm sorry, I apologize for that. Probably the best match I've ever seen that I was not live for. It's Will Ospreay versus Bryan Danielson at Dynasty. And the only reason that I don't say it's the best match ever is because it didn't give me the happy feelings that the SummerSlam matches that we were there live for gave me. But this is hands down from an in-ring perspective the best match I've ever seen. I can't say anything else about it because I can't fucking describe it. They are the best wrestlers. Bryan Danielson, Will Ospreay, the best wrestler of our generation. Will Ospreay, arguably the best wrestler of this next transitional in our generation, if you want to consider that one, clashing in this unbelievably good dream match. You need to go watch it. It's just a religious experience in all of wrestling, which is the complete opposite of number 1's honorable mention, Swerve Strickland versus Hangman Adam Page at All Out 2024 in a Lights Out Steel Cage match.
That was crazy.
Disgusting in all of the best ways possible. The blood feud of AEW, like, I don't even want to say of the year because I do like Drew's and Punk's a little bit more, and it all was this year. But
Yeah.
you need to go watch this match if you haven't. I don't even want to talk about it because it's just, I can't do it justice, honestly.
I heard a lot of bad things about this match because of the shit they brought in, like the syringes and the blood, like the amount of blood that was used.
There was more blood inside of Hell in a Cell than this match.
I don't know. I think the big thing I did see though, like I was saying, was this whole syringe thing.
So it's how you use the space with it. I would say that this is still a more brutal match than the Hell in a Cell match, even though there's less blood in it, just because of what they do with the smaller environment, the bumps that they take, the power bomb onto the cinder fucking block, the vertebraker onto the cinder block, the stomp through a table, the syringe in the mouth ending with a chair shot to the face, the endless barbed wire and the staple guns.
Oh God.
It's disgusting. But I love it at the same time. And it reminds me that wrestling is probably the most diverse form of entertainment imaginable, bro. Like, you can get things like, talking about in a WWE's perspective, we get things like R-Truth goofing around, rapping all the time, and like messing around with the Miz and all of his goofy antics. And then on the other end of
What's
it,
up?
we get a
What's up?
CM Punk
What's
and
up?
McIntyre trying to kill each other.
Yeah. I like how they did though, how they evenly split up the Awesome Truth by pulling them away from each other and everything like that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, dude, this year was just full of absolute bangers upon bangers upon bangers.
Exactly. This is like, we haven't even touched on half of them. Like, this year is just we're in an unbelievably good time for professional wrestling in general. I feel like, no matter what you like, stories or matches or anything in between.
Yeah. What's up? What's up? What's up?
Said, we then move on to our favorite moments, which kind of like is a big loop thing.
It's a mashup of a lot of shit.
Exactly. Returns, angles, promos, etc. And I'm going to kick it off with number 5, the most recent entry on this entire list thing that we're doing. It happened last night on the final Raw of the year.
This shit was crazy.
Before Netflix, CM Punk, Seth Rollins having a promo before their first match together. Wow.
They're face to face.
Was said was unreal.
Just pure gas.
Pure hatred and animosity of, what was the line? What happened? You took a huge chunk of money to go and join the competition. Oh, and how well did that work out for you, by the way?
Took a huge chunk of change to go work for the competition. How'd that work out for you?
I'm fucking dead. Punk constantly drawing lines to the connection of like Vince McMahon being like, I didn't leave because I hated the.
I didn't leave because I hated the company. I hated the boss, and he loved you.
Yeah, I just hated who was in charge, and he loved you. Oh, God, dude. I was done for. Number 4, though, I've got Kevin Owens pile driving Randy Orton. I kind of want to loop in pile driving Cody Rhodes at the same time because it's pile driver. In WWE, we never see that anymore.
You don't ever get that.
Exactly. And the fact
that's
that
forbidden.
He sold it like it was forbidden for a reason. Like, oh my God, he killed him. My God, he's dead.
My God, he's dead. I need a JR on that. I need a Jim Ross on that call.
Oh, seriously. That was...
Give me Jim Ross on the call.
Perfect. It was so good, and it just cemented this new Kevin Owens heel character. We're going to rewind all the way to the beginning of 2024 now with my number 3, Cody Rhodes, CM Punk having a promo off before the Royal Rumble where This is
Do you
before
think you're more
Punk gets
CM Punk than me?
exactly. Where he goes, so
God.
what do you want to talk about? I want to talk about your dad. Like, oh, before they even get into it, it's like, oh my god, how is this going, man?
And like it, dude, it was like it, dude. The way it sounded is like he was getting ready to just absolutely go in on Cody, but like no, the respect there was shown.
He explains the respect in the past relationship or the conversation that he had with Dusty, and then this all leads to them being the final. Well, the promo itself ends with them going like face to face, where it's like, oh my god, this should be a Mania match. And then they're the
Oh
final
god,
two of the Rumble that year, and then Punk goes in and well, then Punk got himself injured, but this should be a future WrestleMania main event. I feel like.
honestly, I agree. I want to see that. I don't like. I'm not saying it has to be WrestleMania, and I'm not saying it shouldn't be WrestleMania. But like just seeing a match between those two, or even like a feud, would be so like it'd be so good. It'd be so good for the younger crowd too to understand like they have more history than just now. Like they have history in AEW, they have history literally almost everywhere.
Exactly. Like you want to talk about how Cody said in the AJ feud, how for our entire careers we've only been two ships passing each other in the night. That's been Cody and Punk at the same time too.
Hmm.
Where like just as like well, Punk left in 2014.
He left early 2014. His first match is early 2014.
Exactly. Then that's kind of around the time Cody gets turned into. Well, no, that's around the time that he's getting pushed with his brother Goldust in the tag division. So he's getting a
Then he
lot
gets
more
turned into Stardust.
popularity. Then
God.
he gets turned into Stardust, and then he leaves with saying like, or Punk could be all like, "You followed in my footsteps, leaving and all this shit like that." It could be fire.
Oh god.
But before we dive too far into that, getting into a rant. Number two, we were here for it, and it was amazing. Number two is Roman Reigns returning at SummerSlam to help Cody Rhodes in the main event. That music, that pop. Ooh,
Ooh. God, dude.
real. I mean, goosebumps thinking about it.
Oh my God, Roman's returning!
Oh my god, is it?
That place, I have never been in a more like electric environment in my life, dude. I had chills. Like I have chills right now talking and thinking about Roman's return. I can't speak. And it's not because like I'm trying to glaze Roman. No, just the environment, dude. Like if you like, I don't like the people who listen to this need to go to like PLEs. You need to go to Raws, SmackDown live shows. The environment is like no other, and it is just absolutely amazing.
Exactly. And we were lucky to be there for one of the greatest, like, just biggest
Greatest
moments.
returns of all time.
Exactly. That was unreal.
Da, da, da. Ah! Da, da, da. That
Yep.
was nuts. New theme and everything.
New theme and everything. Comes in, wipes everyone out. The OTC, where we debuted the name.
Da,
Then,
da, da, da.
number one, though, I've got The Rock blooding of Cody Rhodes next to his own bus. I can't remember exactly what Raw it was. I didn't look back at it. But all I remember from it is, look at you now, boy! Wiping Cody's blood all over a weight belt, saying, Mama Rhodes! This is your
Mama
son's blood! This is
Rose.
your son's blood, Mama Rhodes! And the only thing I could think of was, like, holy crap.
Holy
WWE
shit. Holy shit. Holy shit.
the moment that I truly, like, it's not like, maybe it's not the greatest, it's not the funniest, it's not the most intense, but, like, this is the moment where it clicked for me in my head that, like, holy shit, WWE's back. Like,
Yeah.
this, it's bigger than ever. We're on
Back in full swing and
right
force.
now. Like, it's back in full force, and we're actually getting to experience it all. Like, that's when it really clicked for me, and that's why it's number one for me.
Honestly. I like that. Honestly, that list is very, very valid. I loved all of them. And so,
Very solid.
I mean, I get if you if it's all right, I'm gonna move into my top 5.
Yeah, that's what we're doing.
Number 5, the New Day. It's more recent. I mean, recency bias. Yeah, we just talked about it earlier, but no, this was seriously one of the biggest moments in 2024. I don't care who you are. New Day turning on Big E was just insane. It's been coming for weeks. I thought New Day were splitting originally, but because I was not expecting Big E at all.
Sorry.
But he's here, somewhat. Number 4.
Unreal, bro. I
I'm
cannot,
good.
like, it's something we
I
never
can't
talked
wrap
about.
my head around it.
And, like, I thought that for sure it was going to be Woods turning on Kingston or something like that.
Agreed. Dominic officially turning on Rhea, like I talked about earlier, at my number 4. Number 3 is main event Jey Uso winning his first singles championship against Braun Breaker. Number 2, like you just talked about on yours at number 5, mine is at number 2 with Seth freaking Rollins and the CM Punk face-to-face promo before Raw on Netflix. Like you said, dude, they just traded shot after shot after shot after shot. And like, I have never like genuinely felt more hate through a screen of a WWE character than for Seth Rollins. This man hates, like, there's like, you cannot describe the level of hate Rollins has for Punk.
But at the same time, this is a relatable situation to, like, I mean, in AEW, he was working with somebody who he hated, and that guy took an unprofessional shot on live TV at him. In this one, it's two guys who clearly don't actually like each other, but even now, they're weaving in parts of a kayfabe storyline to make it, to involve the audience and be like, this is still a story that you should involve in yourself in and watch, where Punk goes, I took out Bronson Reed in War Games so you couldn't get him. To just like, I don't know, it's not like completely saying that this is just a backstage feud spilling into the ring. This is also like two in-ring characters feuding at the same time as two backstage guys feuding at the same time.
Exactly. And then
Right, but
my number 1, we were there for it. Like I said, just being in the environment was something else. Roman Reigns' return at SummerSlam 2024. That was just, I don't know, man. Like, I don't know if you noticed it as soon as I noticed it, but like, I was basically paying attention to the screen all night, the jumbotron above the ring, and then I seen everything go black. I'm like, something's happening. Like, I don't give a fuck who you are. Something's about to happen. And then, boom, everything hit. Oh my god, dude, just the way the place erupted.
it's like it played in slow motion in my head, because I was paying attention to like the screens and stuff like that. I was also paying attention to the lights, because like I noticed everyone's down in the ring. I'm like, okay, we saw Kevin Owens, we saw Randy Orton, we've seen the Tongan, we've seen Fatu on that Fatu shit do that dive through the table and almost break his damn leg. And now what do we get? And then the lights kind of go black, and then I see some of them go blue, and I'm like, why are they blue? And then I see OTC pop up on the screen, and then the music hit, and it's
Dude, that shit was.
God.
I wish my phone wasn't dead at the beginning of SummerSlam, dude. My phone died right at the beginning of the show. So I didn't have my phone, anything. Ryan had to take all the videos for us because I was using my phone as a camera for a vlog. Oh, it was a rip, but it's alright. Dude, that's true. We gotta bring him next time. Roman Reigns' return, though, tops the cake for me. Like, I was a big Roman hater at the beginning of the year, but now, I mean, obviously, I think a lot of people, for me, the reason I'm a Roman hater is because he was part-time. I don't know if you think this, I don't know if other fans think this, but I feel like I was justified in my thoughts, because I feel like a world champion, if you're gonna be the face of the company, you need to be on screen at least 2 to 3 weeks out of the month. You need to show up. You can't just show up and, once every month or once every other month.
No, that's completely fair, and I agree with that, honestly.
So, That's what I think. But I mean, Ryan, let's get into your honorable mentions.
Honorable mentions. I'm gonna bottom this out. Number 3. Talked about it in our favorite matches. Sting's retirement. It was just. I'm not gonna say what I said in the first one. It was just a phenomenal moment, and this is how you write a legend off. This is how you send someone.
100%.
How if they don't send John Cena away with like a crushing defeat to a dominant heel like Gunther, then this is how they need to send John Cena out, honestly.
Oh, agreed.
Number 3, Bryan Danielson becomes AEW World Champion. This is the miracle on Bourbon Street from WrestleMania 30, just about 10 years later. It was such a feel-good moment in one of the greatest matches I've ever seen. Just him getting to celebrate the first time he celebrated it, pretty sure it was Connor the Crusher that came in the ring and celebrated with him the entire thing, and then the kid passed away, and all of that happened. This time he gets to celebrate it now with his family, his 2 children, his wife, and people that supported him from the ground up now.
Mm-hmm.
And number 1, I've got the Megastar winning the United States Championship at SummerSlam. Yeah.
Yeah.
We were sitting in front of a row of Logan Paul fans, and it was so good to watch them get disappointed when Logan Paul lost.
It was so nice.
Oh my god, I was so unreal. I was so unbelievably happy. I did not use proper English at all there. I even went there dressed as LA Knight, so it was doubly sweet, bro.
Oh God. Oh, dude, this shit was just so fun. I can't wait for our next trip to a PLE, dude. I'm so excited.
Me either, bro. It's gonna be huge. It's gonna be legendary. I cannot wait. Hopefully it's not too long from now, honestly.
Mm-hmm. So, what are you doing? My dog's going crazy. So, all right. I'm gonna hop right into mine. I have number 3, just like you, Sting's retirement. I actually have his match though, because again, like this was just more. It's our moments, like returns, angles, promos, segments, etc., whatever. I didn't put him on the matches because I wanted to put other matches, so I put him in the moments for my honorable mentions. Like dude, like this, you said this match was just absolutely amazing. Like I wanted to watch it and I didn't know how to watch it, and then you had texted me. I was like, "Yep, Ryan just came in the clutch. Thank you, Ryan." The number 2, I have Jimmy Uso's return at Bad Blood, setting up basically War Games. And then at number 1, I have probably the greatest debut since honestly, no, the greatest debut since 2020. The Wyatt 6 debut. How everything just played out, how everything was to me, that was perfect. So
Cannot agree.
I don't know. That
Absolutely.
your cinema, like you're able to tie it into Bray with it keeping its own self, dude. It is just everything about this is so nice.
Exactly, man. Like, just I don't even know. I don't even remember what it was. It was Chad Gable in the middle of the ring. It was after like the Chad Gable match. I'm pretty sure it was, right, or something like that.
When?
Or no. When the Wyatt Six they no, it was Jey Uso. Jey Uso was in the ring.
Jay Uso said, "Yeet," and he booked it.
Because he like yeeted and then ran out of there, and he was like, "Man, they can have the Fireflies now."
Man, they got the Fireflies back. I don't want the smoke.
Exactly, but they played it so well because Jay was getting the Fireflies, so they
Yeah.
played into that. So with Jay doing that, and then the lights immediately shut off, we get the piano of Bray's whole theme, and then the slow reveal of each and every member was pure perfection.
Gable was shot dead.
Gable was shot dead, man, dead on the ground. Done
Dead.
for.
So that's all I got for my favorite moments, Ryan. Do we want to move into our favorite championship belts?
Definitely do.
So, I'll start from 5 to 1. Majority of mine is actually the women's belts because I do like the white strap. Number 5, the Women's World Championship. Number 4, the Women's Intercontinental Championship. Number 3, I have the current undisputed WWE Championship. I have the Men's WWE Tag Team Championships at number 2. And then number 1, probably my favorite belt with just everything how it looks. I don't like the current title holder, but I have it as the Women's United States Championship as my number 1 favorite belt that we'll see on TV this year.
I definitely like that. But yeah, I don't know. I didn't know. I wasn't sure how I wanted to do this one. To be fair, I wanted to do this one based on looks. I wanted to do this one based on like who's held it, like the legitimacy of the title right now.
Yeah.
Like it has. So I kind of did a mixture of both. I'm gonna top this out right now and just say I don't really have a fondness for the looks of any WWE championship right now. I think they all look like trash. Like I think they all look kind of just corporately like the big old W right in the center has to be thrown right in your face. I feel like, except for like a few exceptions, and they're mostly the women's championships, thankfully.
Yeah.
Like you said, the women's championships mostly all do look better than the men's because of the white strap. White strap just makes everything look better. But I got some other things written down other than what I'm going to say for it. Number 5 kind of goes into the legitimacy aspect of it. I do have the WWE Undisputed Championship. It's held by Cody Rhodes. It's been legitimized by Roman Reigns with a freaking forever title reign. And it feels like the undisputed top prize in all the company. I think it looks like shit. The thing is, it went from ketchup or it went from strawberry flavored with the raw red strap, and then it went to being blueberry flavored when it went to the SmackDown strap, and then it went to being banana flavored or lemon flavored now with the big gold strap in the middle of it. And it's all the big old W in the middle of it. I kind of liked them bringing back the Winged Eagle Championship, and I wish that would be just the permanent replacement of the WWE Championship right now.
Agreed.
Moving up from that, it's more about looks. From here on out, it's more about looks, to be honest with you.
I say all mine was looks, honestly. Like I do agree, that gold doesn't look that good, but I mean with where it's at right now, I think I hope it'll change, to be honest. I don't know if it will though.
Yeah. But like I said, all about looks from this point on. Number 4, well mostly. Number 4 is both of the NXT championships. I kind of just wanted to leave them in here because I do like the men's strap, to be honest with you. The big X in the middle of it. Obviously, the white strap earns the women's title maybe a couple more points, but I think that they both look like the best top prizes on any of the individual brands, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Number 3 is the Women's Intercontinental Championship. I accidentally typed international there. Women's Intercontinental Championship. It's just like the men's one, except for the white strap. It would look even better if it was the original Intercontinental title, like we had speculated earlier in the year when we had thought about this coming in. But nonetheless, it still looks really good. Number 2, I have the WWE Tag Team Championships. It's the SmackDown ones, just like you have them at number 2. I have them at number 2. And it's because they look like the old school ones. They look freaking amazing. Like,
oh God.
The only exception that I would have to that WWE thing that I said earlier where I don't like any of their belts. It's this belt. Number 1, though, it's not a WWE belt. It's the AEW World Heavyweight Championship. Come at me, all the people that don't like AEW just for it not existing. This belt is the most beautiful belt in all of wrestling right now. It's phenomenal looking, and it hasn't had a bad champion, in my opinion. Just like you come at me. I don't care. I don't care. I don't care. I'll fight for it. I'll fight you. Come at me, bro.
Do it.
But that's my favorite championships, all in all. Like I said, WWE doesn't have a lot of ones that I like right now.
Oh God.
But now, you ready to move maybe on to some final talking points that we want to go over this year? We both put down.
Oh, for sure.
We both
I
added a
definitely
couple.
do want to go over some talking points.
Oh, yes. We both added a couple of these. And the first one that I want to go over is, Alex, how do you think Triple H is holding up as head booker for WWE going into 2025?
That's the biggest question in the industry right now. How is Triple H held up being the booker of WWE for going into 2025? And I mean, honestly, I think I can agree with a lot of people where they're like, well, I don't like the fact that he is keeping Rhea and Liv as, your top women's story on Raw. But I mean, the women's division is very slight. Like a lot of the up and coming stars for the women are in NXT right now. So you're working with your bare minimum because women's wrestling really didn't become a thing until Triple H took over.
Mm-hmm.
So I think he's going to do great. Honestly, I mean, what do you think?
I agree. I think he's going to continue. I think he's on fire. Like, for the most part, like, he's held up phenomenally since he's took over from Vince. I thought that for sure he would start to see a dip in quality by now, is what I'm trying to say, but he hasn't really. There's been a couple of things that I've not
That have
been
been
the biggest
questionable.
fan of. I don't like the constant teasing of tag teams breaking up. Like, it's been all year, it feels like. Like, at some point, American Made was slapping each other around, teasing that they were going to break up. Alpha Academy earlier this year, like Jade and Bianca, the Judgment Day, the New Day, like, I can continue, like, but Chelsea Green, Piper Niven, I can't even name
Chelsea Green.
And that's one of the things that I don't like. DIY earlier this year was teasing that they were splitting up Street Profits at some point, A-Town Down Under. I don't like the teasing of tag teams breaking up constantly. I just want them to just have us a solid, like, tag division that is strong, built on good relationships with each other, which is kind of like something that I wanted to bring up in a point later on. But another one is the women's division you were kind of talking about. I think that it could still be stronger. I like the addition of the women's US and the women's Intercontinental Championship, but I don't like the lack of non-title storylines that have been going on in the women's division, all in all.
Yeah.
Like, you've had Tiffy and Nia on SmackDown, along with Candice. You've had Jade and Bianca, and then you've had Rhea and Liv. And I mean, you could say Pure Fusion Collective and Damage Control to an extent, but I kind of wouldn't. But what have they all had in common? And it's all a championship has been involved. Meanwhile, in the men's division, we've had things like at points, Priest and Balor hasn't always included the World Championship. You've had Drew McIntyre and CM Punk is the big one, obviously. Seth Rollins versus Bronson Reed. Like, Sheamus and Ludwig Kaiser. You don't need a title to be involved in a feud to have a really good feud going on, in my opinion. And Triple H
You need
has
a bracelet, though.
for the women. I'm sorry?
You need a bracelet, a necklace,
Yeah,
something.
you need a bracelet. You need like, come on now. This is the women's division. You're telling me they can't feud over a damn bracelet right now?
You telling me they can't feud over earrings? Come on now.
Come on, bro. Like, jeez.
It's jokes, people. Don't cancel us. We're just
funny
playing.
funny jokes. But, that's about it. I think Triple H is holding up really well. I'm excited to see how he does in 2024, especially with the pressure of two fucking I cannot talk. Sorry. 2 3-hour shows now with Raw and SmackDown, one of them being on Netflix. There's a lot of pressure on his shoulders now. WWE's going bigger than ever. SummerSlam's being moved to 2 nights. WrestleMania's now at 2 nights. They have more Saturday night main events being planned than ever, so
God.
I'm worried that it could become a problem like we saw with Vince at some point where it got to be too much and, maybe a dip in quality happens, but I'm holding out to see, of course.
Got to, because if it's what Triple H wants, then this place will go downhill. We obviously saw it's what Vince wanted, and that place is going downhill very fast.
Exactly.
So, I mean, I think it's a good thing that Triple H is listening to the fans, but he's also trying to keep, what he wants on screen as well.
Exactly. He knows what works though too. So
Oh, for sure, yeah.
balance, which he already has, I feel like.
Yeah. I do want to ask you about something else, though. I mean, with Triple H being the head booker, what are your thoughts on Cody Rhodes' title run?
I think it's been relatively really good. There's been moments in it where it's like, oh, I wish there was a little bit more from it.
Yeah.
Like, I wish there was a more substantial title feud. Like, right after WrestleMania, we went into AJ Styles, and then he kind of dipped his toes into the Bloodline feud with Randy and Kevin, I feel like, or if I'm remembering
Hmm.
correctly.
Yeah.
But, so, yeah, I would have liked to see something more substantial, like something with Drew. Well, he was busy with Punk, but for an example, something with Drew, something with like a Kaiser, something with, what are some other big names on SmackDown? Maybe a more substantial title feud with Mello. Dip your toes back into his feud with
Honestly,
Andrade.
Mello, I would do Gargano,
Gargano,
Andrade, LA
Ciampa.
Knight,
LA Knight would have been a
Ciampa.
good face versus face
Honestly,
feud.
either member of the Street Profits.
Exactly. Like, there's people for Cody to feud with. It's just that they haven't put him against them.
Honestly, I would even done Nakamura.
Nakamura would have been a really good one. Which
Almost
they kind of did at the beginning of, or at the end of 2023. They had that feud at Christmas time a year ago,
That's true.
where you did American Nightmare Before Christmas.
And so, I mean, to keep going off of Triple H's booking, what are your thoughts on CM Punk's return? What do you think? Do you think he's done good? Do you think he's done bad? Do you think he's added? Do you think he's subtracted from the company ratings? What do you think about CM Punk himself? And like how his attitude is, how he is backstage on screen. Like, what do you like? I don't know if you
Backstage.
hear reports on what he is, how he is backstage, but his attitude has been reportedly significantly increased since he was last in the company.
Exactly. Like, I've heard that, like, nothing but good things about him backstage recently. And, like, he's not causing any problems, but if there's anything that we know about CM Punk, it's that something can start causing problems.
Yeah.
Things can go wrong with him in a company like this.
And it's
So,
unfortunate that it is that way, but he is what you could. What would you say that? He's not a lost cause, but like he would have been one of the greatest if he would have kept his mouth shut and would have, done what he did, would have stayed in the company. But I also do agree. I think Vince would have screwed him royally.
Yeah,
I mean, look at what he did to Cody Rhodes.
What he was talking about, like, during that time in the company, he kind of needed to get out.
Yeah, it was just unfortunate how everything happened.
Yeah, it was a very unfortunate situation, but as of how he's doing right now, I think it's flying colors through and through.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a reason that he made it onto my top wrestlers list without being in the ring for most of it, and it's because he's still been on TV for it.
He can still cut the promo.
He got injured at the Rumble. He got injured at the Rumble, and he was still adding elements to the story.
Yeah.
Sorry. Did I cut out?
Yeah, you did. A little bit.
Okay, sorry. But he has been adding elements to this feud with Drew since he got injured at Royal Rumble. So since WrestleMania, when he was on commentary and screwed him out of the world title, screwed him out of Money in the Bank, screwed him out of Clash at the Castle, and then the bracelet.
He screw him out of the world title. Didn't screw him out of the world title. Just saying.
He didn't?
Didn't screw him out of the world title at WrestleMania because Drew could have just walked up the fucking ramp.
Well, true. He didn't.
Drew screwed himself. Drew screwed himself.
Fact.
To continue though, go ahead, Ryan.
But yeah, that's mostly it. Like, Punk's just a phenomenal dude. Like, the match at SummerSlam, a lot of people didn't like it, but that's because I feel like
it's also his first WWE match in forever.
Exactly. It's also, I feel like it's more of a TV match. Like if that makes sense. Like, it's a match that, like, we were there live for it. Like, if this is like anything to go off of. While we were there live, I know some of the people around us, and I know you and me kind of had to like, oh, that was it? like for their match, like this is supposed to be a blood feud. I thought. Little did we know
Yeah,
what it was going to turn into. And then if you
exactly.
listen to what was being said while you watched the TV like airing of the match on Peacock,
On Peacock.
you could hear everything that Seth and Punk were yelling at each other. You could hear everything that Drew was yelling at Seth and Punk and all of that. So I felt like that added to it though.
Yeah, being there and then being or watching it on TV is two separate things.
Exactly.
Like it's two separate experiences, but like you still get the same type of like I guess you could say like knowledge on shit.
hmm
So
But how
that's
do
all
you
I got
think
for my
Punk's been on
questions,
his
bro.
return at least? You think he's been doing good?
I think he's been all right. I think keeping him away from Drew now and then pulling him into Punk or Rollins. Like I texted you last night, this needs to happen at WrestleMania. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I agree.
This needs to end at WrestleMania.
This has to, especially after that promo that happened last night on that Raw.
Yeah.
Unbelievably good.
So
Well, then, last question that I want to throw out there is how do you think WWE, I guess this all kind of loops into our first question of how's Triple H holding up his head booker, but how has he
yeah, I
managed?
think all three of our questions though.
They do, yeah. But how has he managed the tag division on both shows, Raw and SmackDown? And even I would even throw NXT in there is how has Shawn Michaels handled NXT comparatively? Because I think that all three of them are very different. If you've been paying attention at all to NXT's tag division,
Um, NXT is basically its own brand, which I do like. They're keeping their shit separate from everybody else.
but it's
And
still
then
WWE's developmental. So how's WWE's developmental doing compared to the actual main shit that they're supposed to be working towards?
mm, I don't really
Because if
know.
you've seen anything with like Fraxium, they are blowing shit out of the water right now
Yeah,
comparatively with everything.
I've heard good things about them. I just
Like
haven't
they're
actually watched anything.
unbelievably like good tag
I need to get to
wrestlers. Like if
watching
they get moved to the
NXT.
main roster, like they are gonna stick out like a sore thumb in the best way possible. But they'll have
Oh yeah,
nobody to compete with. It feels like, or at least nobody that feels like they're on that level.
right. Which is, our tag division on Raw is LWO, Judgment Day. Who else?
You say New Day, I would say.
Yeah, New Day. I forgot about them. Yeah, there's really not shit on Raw. I mean, like you said it though, on one of our past episodes, you said Raw is basically, it's your single stars. That's your A show. It's where all your top stars are. Then, SmackDown's kind of your B show where you have the mid carders and, the other tag teams, really show out.
Mm-hmm.
So,
But then you have a detriment where you're kind of letting one show fall off a little bit more, where you
exactly.
kind of need to be throwing in love to both of them in that sense. Where tag wrestling, there's a legitimate like crowd that loves tag wrestling. Like I think tag wrestling is one of the coolest things. Like when it's done right, it's unbelievably cool. Like that tag match at WrestleMania 39, Usos, Sammy, and Kevin was magic. Like the tag roster was on fire in 2023, and it feels like it has just completely been doused since then.
Yeah,
But
I think a lot of this shit will change over 2025, but it's not going to change like the snap of a finger. It's going to take its time and everything.
right, at least I'm hoping so.
I agree. I'm hoping the same. Hoping something good comes out of this.
But all in all, this was a banger of a year, to be honest with you.
It was, and I mean, I was excited. 2024 was so insane. I think 2025 is going to be just another banger year. So, that's all I got, Ryan, for 2024. Is there anything else you got for 2024?
Hell, nah, I ain't got nothing else for 2024. I'm excited for this move to Netflix, though. 2-night SummerSlam, 3-hour Raw's coming back,
Raw
3-hour
and
SmackDown's coming
SmackDown.
back, bro. It's about to be a big, big year.
I'm excited. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening all of 2024 with us. We're still in the middle of our first season. We still got to get to WrestleMania season. WrestleMania is when we cut off our seasons, or we go to season 2 after this season. But we want to thank you for following along with us all in 2024. It means the world to us that we get to sit here and we get to talk wrestling and do all this. I mean, we're not some big podcasters, but hopefully one day we'll be able to share our thoughts and love with all the fans, just like Chris Van Fleet and, Undertaker and all of them that they do in the wrestling industry. So, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for following along with us. Our socials are, as always, Twitter is AR_wrestling. Instagram is AR_wrestling_. Our YouTube is AR Wrestling 1020 in that search engine. And on Podbean's AR Wrestling Podcast, Apple Podcast, everywhere else you can find a podcast. We are